Hello and welcome back. If you're a returner, if this is your first time, my name is Ruby and today I'm going to be talking about life after Christianity. What does that look like for me? And do I regret it? What faith looks like? All the things, right? So, um, where do we begin? Let's see in the beginning. Okay, I grew up going to church. I would say mainly dibbled and dabbled in a little bit of everything. Went to a Pentecostal church, then went to an apostolic church for a little bit. Uh, Went to a non-denominational church for a little bit, and then in high school, maybe like my senior year, maybe explored the Hebrew Israelite route, um, and then just left it all. And what does life look like now? Like, do I read the Bible? My relationship with, you know, spirituality, religion, what that looks like for me now. I feel like switching from Christianity to the Hebrew Israelite point of view, which is they basically believe that the Israelites in the Bible are black people. And so they go to Leviticus and they go through all the curses that would happen if you disobey God. And they compare it to everything that has happened to black people. You'd be scattered across the four corners of the earth, and you'll be taken away from your kids, and all the things that have happened to us. And it's just like you can obviously see that didn't happen to the current ooze of today's society. And so it was that. And so that was, and they also view the Bible or the Torah. They include the Apocrypha, like the 13 books that were removed from the Bible. But it's still the Bible. It's still the story of Jesus. It's still, all those things, but it's just other parts added, the forgotten parts. So it's just like, oh, we know who we really are. And then there's like the 12 tribes and your bloodline and your rights and all these things. And so I wasn't deep into it. Like, I wasn't wearing fringes and covering my hair and all that, but I was open to that perspective, and it just made more sense to me than the traditional, like, okay, we are the Gentile, believing that we're the Gentiles and that the people who are in Israel are the real Israelites. Like, and they also use like science. There's some gene, the E1B1A, and they trace it back to us, and we're over there. So okay, that was my last stop. And that, I say my last stop because that was like around the last time I stopped like subscribing to the Bible as the one and only way. Because they really, like, if it's not in scripture, it's not. And so they don't celebrate holidays, which I already stopped celebrating Christmas before I even knew what that was, because I had watched a video on Catholicism on YouTube. I watched a documentary and it was explaining like the pagan holidays and all those things, and I was just like, oh no, I don't want to do that. And so transitioning into the Hebrew Israelite, knowing that they also knew them as pagan holidays and things like that, it was a good smooth transition, I'll say. But yeah, I went to college and I had a friend who just, her parents, one parent grew up Muslim, the other one grew up Christian, and then they raised their kids neither. But she was like one of the most spiritual people that I knew. And so I just kind of realized that some of the people that I was following on Instagram, it was just a lot of fear-based. I felt like the Bible was very fear-based. It's just like, you do these things because you ought to be scared of going to hell or making God angry or things like that. And there were some things that just didn't make sense. And so I went through a phase where certain questions were coming up that I couldn't answer. And I just kind of just took a break. And I did feel, at first I was mad at God. I'm like, none of this, like, all my life I've been believing in this Bible and all these things. And it was just a trap. Like, it wasn't real. And I'm just like, I don't know what to believe, what to think, what to trust. Then I was like, well, now what? Because I know before, like, growing up, it's just like I had been conditioned, like, oh, read your word, read your Bible, like, believing that these things are true. And I'm like, well, if I don't have these, what do I have? And I was like, well, I do know that God is real. Like, I do know there's a source. I do know that things that I have prayed for have happened in the past. These new age people are calling prayer meditation, what else they call it? Manifestation. writing down the things that you want, things like that. It's the same stuff, but just a different word. And so I knew I was going to keep praying or just keep talking to some higher source. And I also just started spending more time in nature and just looking at how life was providing for the birds and the grass and the trees and things like that. So that was like my reminder, like God is real and things do happen, or like everything that has life is taken care of in some way, shape, or form. And so I just kept the prayer thing, but I stopped subscribing and believing like this is the only way to heaven and God and all those things. And I started to be open to like, what do other people believe? So I did get the Quran, and I wasn't trying to convert to Islam or anything, but I did just want to see like what were some of the teachings. And honestly, if you think about it, you call it different names, Buddha, Allah, Jesus, whoever, Yeshua, they all point to the same sources. Just call it different names. And I think that religion versus relationship is something that they actually preach in the church sometimes, some churches. I think just having a relationship with the higher being is the most important thing. I do believe that Christianity gave me a good background on like spirituality, because I do believe in like spirits. Like I believe in good spirits. I believe in lower vibrational spirits, demons, whatever you want to call it. I do believe in those things. I have seen people get demons cast out of them in the church with my own eyes. I do believe in like prayer, like people being healed, situations working out. So navigating this new age or this new way of thinking, faith-based system, wanting to protect myself from getting caught up in something that was dark and, be like, oh, well, come do this and burn this. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm there yet or if I'll ever be there. But also like getting in touch with African spirituality and realizing like, what did we believe before they came and scared us from, doing what we did before they popped up on the scene for however many years, hundreds of years before they came. And just realizing how Native Americans, Africans, there's always like a level of appreciation for nature and just healing and the animal, like those type of things. I had more of an open mind, whereas before I'm like, that's demonic, they worshiping the animals, like it also has made me more compassionate towards people, because I feel like Christianity is like the book is what you judge yourself by, your life by, and others by. And so I feel like just being more open and more free, it allows you to be more relatable to people. And instead of looking at people like, oh, she's a sinner because she's out drinking, partying, this and that, I just look at it, she's a soul on her journey, discovering herself, and maybe she is indulging in things that lower her vibration or attract bad things. But it's less like, I don't want to say it's less, I don't know, it's less serious, and it's less like criticism or judgment towards it. It's more like a step back and observe, like, oh, okay, like that's what some people do. Not, oh, they're going to hell, they're not living right, they're not this, and then making it my business to go around and bring people into heaven, and by promoting Christianity in this book that has questions that we can't answer. And you're not even supposed to question it. I'm like, this is what it was. This is what hit me. I'm like, if there's one God created this whole planet, and you mean to tell me the only way to find him is through this book? So if I grew up in the rainforest into a family where I have no access to the book, I ain't gonna get in? I'm going to hell? I'm like, how does everybody find God? If you take the books away, I feel like before the books arrived on the scene, like it was through experience, it was through nature, it was through like communicate, like it was just through like communication with spirits and ancestors and all those things. Like dreams ring bells everywhere, right? And I just was like, that didn't sit right with me. Like, okay, so you mean to tell me the one only way to get to this God is through this book? And if I don't have access to this man-made book by these people who, especially like they're known to rewrite history, and they took out 13 books. Like, I was just like, nah. And I can't question this. You just do it. It didn't make sense. So, telling my mom about it. I didn't like make a formal announcement. I just started doing my own thing. And there's just like a fear based, like, oh, you want to go to heaven. You want to live right. You don't want to go to hell and things like that. And I don't even know if I believe in hell as like a place where there's fire. I don't think I believe in that. I think that I do believe in energy, and I believe that if you are someone who vibrates on a low plane, you have a low vibrational experience before you even die. Like, it's just the proof is in the pudding. And I think I was reading in some book, like, hell is only real if you think it's real. So if you spend your whole life thinking that it's real and you're doing all these bad things, when you go, your brain or your energy is going to create a little hell for you. I don't know. It starts to get tricky as to what happens when you die. I believe that spirits come here to learn, and some learn faster than others. And I do believe that we can reincarnate. We can stay on the other side and be, angels or spirit guides for other people. I don't believe that when you die, you just get trapped in a place called heaven and don't have any way to communicate with the people that you loved. I don't believe that. And I don't believe that you'll go to hell for talking to them. Like, even if they're not here, you just, oh, Mom, I miss you, or I'm grateful for you. Like, I don't believe that is bad. I was taught to believe that is bad, but I don't believe it's bad. So yeah, for me, the walk was definitely fear. It was fear. Like, well, what if the Bible's right? What if I'm just being led astray? What if this is the devil using me? Like, that fear of me making a wrong decision or possibly going to hell. There was also frustration, like, dang, like, I spent all my life thinking this one thing was true and it wasn't the whole time. So it was just like a betrayal in a sense. But then there's also the phrase of like freedom. And I just approach life differently now. And just a little more understanding. And then in terms of spirits, I still believe that there are bad spirits. I do believe people can get possessed. Like, you can look behind someone's eyes and see, like, something not right, or there's something attached to this person, like, that just doesn't feel right. It feels dark. And I believe that they roam too. And I do believe it's important to protect yourself and your energy. Whether you want to protect yourself by calling on Jesus, I believe it works. If you want to protect yourself by imagining a white light around you, or calling on God or universe, whatever you want to call it, and just speaking positivity around you, I think that is good. I know that Christian music, gospel music more specifically, was something that was a big part of my life and still is, because the words of it are very positive, very uplifting. They are all the things that I believe in. Like, it's turning around for me. It won't always be like this. Like, I believe that playing that music, it does shift the atmosphere. It does shift your mind state. I do think it's still a good thing. I'm not anti the Bible. I'm not anti. I think it's a way, just like Islam is a way, and Hindu is a way. Like, it's all a way. Like, I don't get caught up in one way being better than the other. I'm just like, I do believe there are certain like principles, like you shouldn't steal, you shouldn't kill, you should, like, certain things like that. Like, how am I going to just say that that's not true? Like, it's true. There's certain things you shouldn't do, commit adultery, all those things. So yeah, like, I don't hate Christianity. I don't hate Christians. That's what you do. That keeps you grounded. Reading the stories about people who've been through things, whether these people are real or not, I do think it's good for your brain, for your spirit, for your mind. Even myself, like, I still think about the stories, like, oh, when I'm going through something, I think about the story of Job. Okay. When somebody does something to me, I think about Jesus and how he was betrayed. Like, it lets you know, like, the stories are reminders of just triumph, and no matter how hard things get or people being healed, the blind being healed, things like that. These stories, I think that they do hold a good, like, they don't hurt, there's no harm. I don't really see the harm. I think the harm comes from just being scared. Like, it keeps you scared straight sometimes and just keeps you judgment. It can keep you judgmental, but and it's just like fear of doing wrong, fear of sinning. Like, that's when it gets too much. But then they have the balance of love. But then it's just like some Christians, either you either believe it or you don't. And some are open to accepting the alphabet community, some are not. Like, it's just, I do think that it's a good resource though. They're good, beautiful poems about love, about resilience, about strength, about patterns in humanity as far as like the rise and fall of nations and things like that. So yeah. I don't have like and I will go to church. Like, I will go, usually I go maybe like once or twice a year. Like, I can sit there, I can listen to the music, I can understand the stories. I still think you can learn from it. And I've never been to a mass before. But I feel like it's not that deep. I think being in it is that deep. But now I'm more of like a watered down version where it's not that deep. And yeah, that's my walk. I was scared, I was this, I was that, but I'm neither of those. I do feel free. And I do feel like it helps be open to like even learning new things. I remember being a Christian thinking, oh, yoga is demonic. This is like being scared to do certain things. And now I'm just open. I'm like, I'm divinely protected. And yeah, it's okay. I also feel like coming out of the church system, I have this new level of like autonomy. Like, I feel like I'm more powerful. Like, I still believe God is the source, right? But in church, it's just like a begging, like, oh, give me, please, help me, help me. But coming out of it, you have this level of like autonomy. Like, I can claim things, I can speak over my life, like I can command things and bring them into existence with the belief that something bigger than me is listening. Not, oh, well, pastor said, bishop said, yeah. So I think that that's helpful. Or even getting caught up in like, Pentecostals. There are still some people out there who are still wearing skirts and still, living in holiness and doing all these things, which that's their business. But like, wearing pants, it's okay. Having a glass of wine is okay. Like, to me, okay? I have younger siblings who are in elementary school, middle school. They're being raised Christian, and that's their business, and it's their walk. I don't want to, make them feel like they're sinning by making them feel uncomfortable, but I just live my life. I live my life. So yeah, I still pray. I pray for myself. I pray for other people, and usually I'm like sending love, light, healing their way. I listen to my intuition when things or people or situations feel dark or heavy. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to get out of here. I listen to my dreams. I have dreams that reveal things to me about the current moment or the future. And I think that it's just a part of the time. I think religion has played its role. I know that the government and there are these higher beings. It is a form of control in a sense. It does keep people divided, because whose God is the real God and who's living right and who's wearing a hijab and who's like, it can be that way, but it could also be a sweet thing. And I do know some really good Christians. It does keep your heart open and it promotes spreading love, which I still think like there are some really good principles, and I'm grateful for the background and the foundation that it gave me, because it does help me navigate the world of good and bad and promote good things. And I do still, like, I'm not the whole book, throw it away. It's just leading people. I don't believe that. I believe there are some great things in there. And from the verse of the day, when I had the Quran giving the verse of the day, it was some good things in there too. Some good things in there too. And then learning about some of the Hindu or Indian traditions or Japanese things like philosophies and things like that. I think that's helpful too. Same thing with African spirituality, certain principles, certain rituals, certain things that people did, like reading the books. I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. Like, it's cool. Oh, also I'm Haitian. I'm Haitian, and growing up hearing like, oh, voodoo is evil, voodoo is bad. I don't have any experience in it, but at least I'm open to just understanding like this is the way that they communicate with the spirit world. They do their dances, they do their, now I know that I've heard some people using it for healing with the herbs and protection. I've heard people using it to carry out certain missions against other people. I heard that it was used to help win independence from France. But before, I would just say, don't even, I wouldn't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. Keep da. But now I look at it like, hey, I don't participate. I don't try to. I'm not trying to. That's the thing. I'm not trying to go from one thing to the next. I'm out here living on love. Just love yourself, love others, be compassionate, help others, protect your energy, keep your eyes open, be vigilant. And pray. Keep your relationship with that source. And I think that it will guide you to where you need to be. I think so. Ask for what you want. Asking it shall be given. That's what I'm saying. The Bible has good stuff. So yeah, I don't think it has to be like so black or white. Like, you know how the Christians, they think like, oh, to not be Christian is to live in sin. I don't think to be on the other side, like we have to look at Christians like, oh, they're crazy psychos, they're brainwashed. I don't look at them like that, no. So yeah, that's my walk with life after crystals and numerology. Almost close this thing out, but I think it's important to talk about that. So growing up, I guess I was supposed to be taught that crystals are like demonic and things like that, but how I think about it is they're stones that God made that allegedly have certain properties. Okay, there are plants that God made that, so if drinking peppermint tea gets rid of a headache, but holding amethyst intensifies, I don't know, gratitude or love, or I don't even know what they're supposed to do. Like, how is the peppermint not demonic? Because it does something, and I believe that peppermint tea will release my headache, or ginger will reduce inflammation, but I can't believe that the rock will absorb negative energy or give me better dreams, or like, I think that's, I don't know. I've never had any demons visit me with where is it? I got something right here. What is this? This is black obsidian, supposed to absorb negative energy or something like that. I can't say when I wear it magical things happen, but I also can't say that I've had nightmares and demons come talk to me and all that. Nah. But I can say this. When I was on shrooms one time, I had it wasn't this, I had other crystal, and they were hot. Like, they felt so hot, and I could feel the energy from them. And I'm like, they really do stuff. And I have gotten Reiki before, and I have felt like when they put stones over certain chakras, like it intensified like the heat and the feeling. So it's something to them. And I do know if I sleep with any crystal in my bed, which I don't like to do, it makes my dreams just, I'll have like 50, not 50, probably like 15 dreams though. It'll be like, I just feel like they just keep getting choppy and they'll just jump and jump and jump. So I don't do that. But I do have these for Reiki or just for looks, because they're really beautiful rocks. Like, let me show you this. Lord. Look how beautiful this is. If anything, this just looks good in your house. If anything, it just looks good in your house. Like, look how beautiful this is. God made this. Oh, I'm supposed to call you the devil? No. This is amethyst. So yeah, I do believe in that. I believe you reap what you sow, or karma, whatever you want to call it. Just try not to get too caught up in the logistics and just focus more on the experience. And good things happen. Everything is working for your good. Things are here to teach you all the things. So if you're someone who is thinking about leaving, you're worried about how it could feel, it can be scary, it can feel lonely, you can feel lost because your brain is just so used to being regimented. Go to church, stay in your word, this and that. I do fast too. I still fast. Like, you don't have to abandon all of it. Just take from it what works. Just take from it what works, like that you've known to work, and what doesn't. Like, it doesn't have to be so, and make sure whatever decision you're making is not a fear. You know? So yeah, all the emotions, but it does get better. It does get easier, and you find your people and you realize some people have some of the same questions you have. They're just scared to ask or scared to say it out loud. And at the end of the day, my experience, God has not loved me any less. The blessings didn't stop. It's not like my life immediately got worse. I didn't get sick. I didn't like it. No. So you'll be okay. And if you have someone who is leaving the church or leaving there, like, I don't know, do what you got to do. If your church tells you to, if you feel like you got to excommunicate them and make them feel bad for not believing what you have been brainwashed to believe, and then that's your, because we really didn't have a choice. We just were born into this, and it's just like, read, do, don't question, read, do, don't question, read, do, don't question. And then there's these levels of authority and deacons and ministers and pastors and fear and all of that. You didn't have a choice. You just do it and accept. Whereas on the other side, for me, it's more of like a exploratory touch and go. It's more interactive. It's more of a partnership. It's more of I don't know. It's freeing. I know that. So yeah, that's what I believe. But yeah, I'll go to church. Why not? I'm not open. Like, I'm not scared of church. I'm not. I would date someone who was Christian, but I don't know if they would date me, because depending on is how saved they are, you can't be unequally yoked. But I would date if I like you so much, and being Christian made you who you are. I'm not gonna take that from you or try to. Same thing if you're Muslim, whatever. Like, do what makes you you, because I like you. And anything you believe is real. There was a time I believed in the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. And it was just, it's real. The presents were still under the tree. Like, I had all the evidence to believe. I had the background, the story of the North Pole. I sent my letter, like all those things. So I can't tell you it's not real to you if it, My future videos will be sponsored by Spindrift at some point. So yeah. That's all I got. I don't know if it's not my business to go and try to shame people for believing what they believe. I'm just talking about me and my walk. And I don't think I need to make a PowerPoint like young Pharaoh and break down why Christianity isn't doing it for me anymore. And even just the history of Christianity and how a lot of the principles of it started in ancient Kemet way before Jesus was ever even thought of. Like, so it's just like some of these things, it's just like we just be receiving this stuff, and who we received it from, it's just like, it's too much. The world is so big, and my mind is just so open to learn about the different things. And so that's all I got. If you liked this conversation with me, or just hearing my brain, like, comment, subscribe. I finally got my mic figured out, because I think my videos, the volume has been low, so you have to turn it up really loud. Something's wrong with my adapter. I don't even know where it's at, so I just have to plug it in. Me and this mic have been through so much. I used to have a mic stand that broke now. just pray for me. See? Pray for me. Prayer changes things. I do know that. Being a good person, all the things. Like, it doesn't have to be this big, scary thing, okay? But yeah, also be careful who you let lay hands on you when you step out. Like, don't just be trusting any and everybody. Like, there's certain foundational things that Christianity does teach that are the truth. So, be kind, loving, and caring to yourself and others. And come back. Give me some video topics. Like, peace. Come on. There we go. Where is it?